Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope. This one is for Monday the 4th of March going through until Sunday the 10th of March 2024. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. It's so nice here today that I don't even need a winter coat. It's lovely outside. So I'm going to go through each day of the week to give you an idea of what the planets are doing and how they'll influence you. And then I'll go through each sign of the zodiac from Aries through to Pisces to give you a specific idea of what area of your life this is likely to show up in. So what I noticed about this week is that we have a lot of water, we have a lot of earth and a lot of air. So it's a really good week in the sense of your relationships are supported. Anything that has to do with creativity or connecting to the higher realms, healing, any of that is really supported. Productivity, so actually getting things done, setting a goal, and then taking the steps required. And air is about intellectual strength and a real clarity of vision and being able to communicate and to take decisive action. So to settle one way or the other. So what we don't have is a lot of fire, and fire is about your life purpose and passion. And it can be also that difficult feeling of desire, like yearning or longing for something where I really, really want this. So it then makes sense if you don't get what you want, there can be the potential for anger and to be destructive. So what that says to me about this week is that the connection and the love and the sense of contentment that you can tap into this week is much more about the long term. It's something that's consistent. It's not here 1 minute and gone the next. It's not a flash in the pan. It's not this sense of I urgently need to do something. If I don't do it, I'll have lost out or everything's going to go awry. So we don't have that sense of added pressure. We have you kind of being patient in situations that could, under normal circumstances, upset you emotionally, but you're able to detach from that to a certain degree. Keep your eye on the prize. So what I feel with that, just via the elements, is that the week is going to be one that's calm, and really the image I'm getting is of someone very learned, kind of sitting in their study, kind of browsing the books and having, like a night lamp or whatever. It's like the peace and quiet to study, to feel contented, to feel safe, and to get your bearings and to make decisions for yourself in a consistent, calm, and gentle way. That's really what I get for this week. Okay. So starting with Monday, the 4th of March, we've got the moon in Sagittarius. So the moon is your feeling, right? In Sagittarius, it's I want to go on an adventure. I want to use my strength to get somewhere new and to experience something. And it squares Neptune and Pisces. So we've got like this muggy friction between the desire to experience and also your imagination. So you can use that whichever ways works for you. So to actually go somewhere and to look at new things and to be inspired by that, or to go within and to kind of plummet the depths of your own imagination and then to produce something creatively. Both of those things are going to be really satisfying. We've also got Mercury, the communication planet, in Pisces. So that's your spiritual frequency is very much set to the other world and what do the higher realms want for me and what are they guiding me towards. So you'll pay attention to that. And it sextiles Uranus and Taurus. So to me, the way I interpret that, it could be that you get some signs via your environment that are really trying to get your attention. So if you're someone like me who doesn't just like look at clouds, but like I look at the shapes in the clouds and like what that could mean, you see? If you're like that as well, then pay attention on Monday. You may get things coming across that way. The moon then enters Capricorn at a quarter past 10 in the evening, so 15 minutes past 10. And when the moon goes into Capricorn, it's very much about having both feet firmly planted on the ground and not being distracted by things which seem nonsensical or frivolous or lacking in seriousness. It's very much about, okay, let's get to work here. And Capricorn is often depicted as this goat, but it's often got a fishtail. So it's even like when it comes to the emotional side of things, I'm willing to do the work. And that may sound very drab and not so fun. But when you're actually in a relationship with someone, if they're willing to do the work, it makes your life much easier and the relationship actually has a chance to survive. So on Monday, initially you start with this kind of restless sense of I want to be creative or I want to explore, something like that. But it really calms down as the day goes on and you really are now looking at how can I use my imagination and creativity consistently, sensibly, right? So you approach the day on Monday with high energy and the expectation of a good outcome, which I think, to me, that's half the battle. If you're expecting everything to go well, then that's a much better experience, and usually then it helps the good outcome actually manifest. So on Monday, working towards a goal or working to express yourself creatively, those are the ways forward, the way I mentioned with Sag and Neptune in Pisces. And with the shift of the moon into Capricorn later in the evening, you do become even more grounded, and the whole day is a good time to get things done. Whether it's on a personal level or on a more formal kind of work-related level, you can kind of tick a lot of things off your list. On Tuesday, the 5th of March, we have the Capricorn moon forming a square with Chiron in Aries. So Chiron is the wounded healer in Aries. It's really, what can I do for myself? What can I do independently to improve any kind of situation, to make me feel better about it? And the Capricorn moon, I feel it's really going to direct you towards what can I achieve in work, as in measurable productivity. It trines Jupiter in Taurus and Uranus in Taurus. So with those two outer planets, the planet of good luck and good fortune and the miraculous and unexpected, you know, if you really kind of work at something today, you can have a miraculous, amazing outcome. So if something is important to you and you've been working towards it for a while, if there's anything around the realms of I have to put the finishing touches on things, do that Tuesday, it'll go really nicely. The Capricorn moon then also sextiles Saturn in Pisces and the Sun in Pisces. So there's this sense of I'm working, I'm toiling away, and I'm doing that for some sort of bigger, almost karmic purpose. And you feel able to tap into that bigger grid of what the big plan is. So you have a nice kind of self-awareness and a nice kind of recognition of the work you're doing and what you're working towards for the long term. So you have a really nice kind of overview here. It's like you being in an observation tower, in the observation tower of your life, so to speak. Okay, so on Tuesday, you're still super productive, but you may also find that there's an opportunity with this great perspective to help a family member or a friend of yours, someone you're close to basically, and you're able to help them in some sort of practical way. So whether that's moving or I need help, you know, calling someone, whatever it may be. So on Tuesday, expect high levels of creativity, good relationships, and an overall sense of harmony and a sense of I have all of this under control because I can see everything. So it's like you zoom out and have a giant lens over what's going on in your life. On Wednesday, the 6th of March, we have the Capricorn moon forming a trine with Uranus and Taurus. So again, your work, anything that you really put effort into, can have an unbelievably good outcome, an unexpectedly good outcome. It sextiles Mercury in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. So to me, that kind of says, I'm working towards the dream here. You know, like someone who's whistling while they work or someone who's like singing a song. It's like, this is what I'm doing in the present moment. It may seem mundane or repetitive to you, but I'm doing this over days and months and years, and I'm doing this happily in the moment, but I'm working towards a bigger outcome. That's what I really get here for the first 3 days. You have this added sense of wisdom of someone who really just looks at the long narrative. Yeah. Mars in Aquarius sextiles Chiron in Aries. So respect for information starts to come in the sense that if I don't know something, I know where to go to discover what I need to know. And information is key if I want to make things better for myself, in quotation marks. So the productivity train keeps chugging along. You can get so much done here in the first 3 days of the week. So anything that you don't particularly enjoy doing, you know, like, I don't know about you guys, but for me, there's certain things I really struggle with, like practical things that are like perceived to be boring. And then instead of just getting it done and doing it, I get anxious about it and I mull it over, and then the whole thing gets behind, and instead of just doing it, it creates a whole thing. So if you ever struggle with that kind of thing where you're procrastinating but you're anxious about it, you don't want to be, you can't help but, like, you know, then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, tackle those kind of tasks. You'll have a much easier time with them. So the whole productivity theme actually peaks on Wednesday, so it gets stronger from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, kind of builds and builds and builds. So anything that you need to get completed, focus on that, or anything you want to express creatively, do that. Or if you're trying to paint the mental picture of what the future dream looks like, focus on that, but try and keep it to 1 or 2 things at most. And all of those are areas when you kind of approach them on Wednesday, you can get more done than you expected, either in a literal way, as in I've got more work done than I thought I could, or I've really worked towards the dream and now I have a much better picture of what comes next. You see, so directly or indirectly. On Thursday, the 7th of March, we've got the moon going into Aquarius at 1:38 in the morning. So that's a big shift because Aquarius is known as the water bearer, which to me often says detox and let go of things by acquiring wisdom and by being prudent, right? But it's an air sign, so it's about teaching and learning and doing something for the greater good and seeing the bigger picture. So that kind of elevated view of things gets even stronger now. But we're switching gears from water to air. We've got a lot more air coming. So I think the relationships are now not the top priority. You're focused on intellectual strength, making decisions, learning, understanding as we go into Wednesday, Thursday here. So the Aquarius moon then conjuncts Pluto and Mars in Aquarius. So there's not just respect for information, as in this can be the solution to my problem, as in I have a desire to learn for the sake of it, not just to problem solve. And it squares Jupiter in Taurus and it sextiles Chiron in Aries. And that to me says unexpected good news could come in. So like I mentioned on Thursday, the overall shift is that we're getting out of the pool and we're moving into the air, right? So an added formality comes in when it comes to your personal relationships, but when it comes to formal things in your life, like studying contracts and reading and making big decisions, you have an amazing eye for detail now on Thursday onwards. So if anything needs to be studied, edited, or taught, it's a great day to actually do it and also to prepare for that kind of thing. Also listen to the insights of others. They are unlikely to lead you astray on Thursday, the 7th of March. So there's not much room for misinformation here or getting the wrong end of the stick. On Friday, the 8th of March, we've got the Aquarius moon now conjuncting Mars in Aquarius and Venus in Aquarius. So to me, this is like someone's birthday. A new idea is born. A new way of seeing things is born. You know, it's interesting when you look at like certain days, there are trends. Like sometimes, I don't know, just in a very mundane way, right? Like if you're browsing on YouTube, you may not see anything for ages, and then suddenly in one day, 3 of your favorite people like publish things and you've got loads to watch. Or it's, you speak to a couple of friends of yours and the theme seems to be suddenly moving house and everyone's talking about the same thing. Sometimes they come in kind of themes. So the theme that I'm getting here is really the birth of a new way of looking at things, new information coming out, so whether that's via the news or a new idea popping up for you. But a lot of noise is going to come about as a result of the ideas that are kind of born on Friday the 8th. Like the people will start to talk about things that were conceived of around this time of the year. The Aquarius moon then squares Uranus and Taurus. These are strong, powerful ideas that can really have an earth-shattering effect on the world. And it sextiles Chiron in Aries. If you're the owner of an idea like that, like good intellectual property, you may find a treasure of an amazing idea on this day. So if you're someone who works on that level, you know, like if the epiphany, you're waiting for that, or if the formula, or if the new political system that you're trying to devise, you know, if you want to have this big eureka moment, Friday is the day for it. Mercury in Pisces conjuncts Neptune in Pisces. And I just want to say something else about that, because we had Pluto going into Aquarius, right, in January. And it's this new era of ideas and humanity. Check out that video if you haven't already. But these are now the first hotspots within that new era of these new ideas being born that are then going to influence years to come moving forward. So with Mercury in Pisces conjuncting Neptune in Pisces, relationships still good. We do have the water here, but also your imagination is still fired. But I think the focus is more on things that are in black and white, that not just information that comes from within, you see. On Saturday, the 9th of March, we've got the moon going into Pisces at 2:03 in the morning. So the moon in Pisces is, I would say, a lot more laid back, doesn't focus on getting every detail right. It's much more interested in the general atmosphere or the general consensus. The Pisces moon then conjunct Saturn in Pisces and it sextiles Jupiter in Taurus. So again, I think the pace is really much more about sitting back and relaxing and enjoying a sense of well-being. and kind of looking back on a working week and saying, well done me, I did a good job there. Mars is still in Aquarius and it squares Uranus and Taurus. So you've got a choice. You can either chill and relax and enjoy the people in your life, or you can continue to study and get amazing ideas come through. The Sun in Pisces sextiles Uranus in Taurus. So even like information that comes through creatively though can be earth-shattering. So you may be operating on lots of different levels on Saturday, or very strongly in one particular area. So I think it's a day where you can kind of pick and choose almost. Like there's a lot of potential for harmony in your relationships, particularly your intimate personal relationships. You're also supported in studying and researching and problem solving. And you can even get a clear picture of what you want to do in the next few months. So again, it's the repetition of this observation tower moment of I have a nice overview of everything going on in my life, and therefore I can comfortably make an easy decision because I know everything. You know, like if you feel in your bones that I have not missed a beat here, I know absolutely everything that's going on, of course I can make a decision. So it's that sort of certainty within yourself. Finally, on Sunday, the 10th of March, we've got the new moon happening in Pisces, and that happens at 11 in the morning my time. So the new moon is when the sun and the moon, they conjunct. The moon goes pitch black and it pulls lots of energy in for its next cycle, right? And that's why a new moon, if you have a new moon in your birth chart, it gives you this pioneering energy for life. Someone who kind of innovates and who thinks outside of the box and who leads and who is like this person who doesn't operate within the confines. Not a sheeple, the opposite of a sheeple. So we've got a new moon in Pisces at 11 in the morning on Sunday. So a lot of Pisces energy is being pulled in here, right? Fuel for the next cycle. And Pisces is really this spiritual, loving, all-forgiving, all-encompassing kind of energy. So again, it puts this nice kind of soothing blanket over all your home life, your relationships. So the weekend is really like lying in a hammock and like swinging and having a nice, enjoying the view kind of thing. We've got the Pisces moon conjuncting the sun in Pisces, obviously, because it's a new moon in Pisces. And then also Neptune in Pisces, which is sitting there as well. The Pisces moon then also sextiles Uranus and Taurus. So watch out for your dreams and what they tell you about certain circumstances in your life. Like again, the image with, seeing messages in the clouds via symbols and stuff. Look at symbols in your dreams on Sunday. So basically Saturday night and Sunday night, I would say. Mercury in Aries also sextiles Pluto in Aquarius. Again, the potential to have an amazing idea. And just on a more practical level, if you're in the States, I think I looked this up properly, that the clocks change for you guys in the States. In Europe, they change at the end of March for, daylight saving, summertime coming up. Right, so on Sunday, I think it's a wonderful opportunity to enjoy the good life, and particularly in the areas of relationships, creativity, and spirituality. You may get some brilliant ideas while you're relaxing or spending time in meditation or doing things which are soothing and calming and enjoyable to you. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I get via the week, the 7 days of the week. Let's look at each one of the signs. So Aries through to Pisces. Here we go. Okay, so Aries, for you guys, things are likely to go very, very well, particularly in the areas of your work and your income. So bring up anything that requires discussion, like around the office or contractual, anything like that. That could go either way, where you're not sure, because the odds are really stacked in your favor. And anything like that, if you approach it this week, you're much more likely to have the kind of outcome that you're looking for, a positive outcome, right? Taurus. You may find yourself being a little daydreamerish at work. You may be much more interested in relationships this week. So if you know that ahead of time, if you have the luxury of kind of planning your week, it's really a good time to spend with people who are close to you, people you love. And obviously, if it's a good time for that, you're likely to have good experiences when you're spending time with people you love. So if you can kind of slow things down and really lean into the water side of things this week, Taurus, I think you'll have a great time. Gemini, expect really good news when it comes to your work. If there's an opportunity that comes up, like suddenly, you work in the same location every day, but suddenly there's an opportunity to travel for work or to learn something extra, really consider it carefully before you dismiss it. Like for instance, a good idea, but I'm too busy, I'll do that later on. Any opportunities along those lines, as in to expand on something or to adapt it or to change the everyday kind of experience of it, that's likely to go well, and those are opportunities that you can trust. They're very likely to pay off in the long term. Cancer. Expect someone from the past to pop up in your present, or expect some good news from an official source. So it's a good time to settle anything official along those lines, like anything that needs a final signature or, you know, final stamp to get it done. You can really do very well with that this week. Leo, for you guys, this is a fabulous week when it comes to applying for new positions, for new jobs, or to submit your work for review or consideration. Like, you know, for instance, sending your idea for a TV show to whoever, the production company or whatever it may be, or to a network, something like that. Or the manuscript to the publishers. Yep, that kind of thing. So there's ultimately an opportunity for a new working relationship to begin here for you, Leo. So watch out for that. Virgo, you may feel a lot less stifled than you did the week before. Expect to see good results in many different areas of your life. So expect relationships to be quite nice and easy breezy, your everyday to become a little bit calmer and less frazzling, and you may even have a sense that the pressure is easing off a little bit this week, Virgo. Libra, for you guys, this is the perfect week for new love and romance. Make sure that you make yourself available, and what I mean by that is, you know, if you have like an event that you weren't sure of attending, like, you know, they have a work party on Friday or something, you weren't sure, you know, why should I go kind of thing. Make yourself available for those kind of things, which may seem pointless at other times, but anything where you're around people and you can have a chat and you can get them talking is a really good idea. Scorpio, this is going to be a week where you're really focused on your most closest, important, intimate relationships, the people you care most about in your life. If you can, similar to Taurus, give yourself time to spend time with those people who mean so much to you, who you care about. You'll get a lot of good stuff out of that. It'll be a nice warming kind of week where you have great experiences with those people. Sagittarius, an opportunity to go against the grain is likely to come up. So you can stand up for something that you feel to be super important and that you want to voice. So it's likely to have a good outcome if you kind of, let's say you're at a meeting and everyone's missing something that you've seen. Do I speak up or not? Please do speak up. It's likely to have a good outcome, that people listen and are willing to hear what you've got to say. And those kind of experiences usually are also great for your confidence. It's like, look at me and my great suggestion that I just made, you know, that kind of thing. Capricorn, expect to hear some really welcome news from someone in your life. Doesn't need to be someone close to you. It can be from both like the formal structures of your life, work, or in the personal areas, friends, I don't know, relatives, cousins. So basically expect something that is like music to your ears, something that you will really want to hear. Aquarius, you may find that for some weird reason you get things done quicker this week and you have more time on your hands than usual. And use that extra time to work on your own ideas and plans for the future. You know what I said at the beginning with the person I see in the study kind of browsing the books and educating themselves under the moonlight? You're really that archetype, I feel, Aquarius. You can really get clear on your own ideas and get excited about those. So if things have felt flat, or if you felt like you've just been coasting along or, you know, bumbling along, whatever, you can really take charge of things and get a clear idea and to hone in on what's important again. Pisces, expect to do particularly well in the area of relationship this week, but strangely and randomly, watch out for possible overspending. I think there's the potential to become somewhat complacent as, oh, everything's going so well, the meal is so romantic and beautiful, yeah, I'll spend an extra whatever it may be on dessert. So just keep your eye on that. If you're suddenly feeling incredibly generous and you're not checking the bank account at all, then just kind of keep an eye on that to avoid any potential issues later on. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I get for you guys this week. I hope it gives you an idea of what you'll be working with. If you'd like me to have a look at your personal natal chart in a reading, then please get in touch with me via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on the button that says book your reading to order the reading with me. And what I need from you is your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. Once I have those 3 bits of information, I can draw up your natal chart, and that tells me a great deal about you. And by great deal, I mean that to me it's like a blueprint of your soul. It tells me like a lot. Your life mission, your vocational aptitudes, what's kind of destined in love and finances and securities, like the dynamic that's likely to come up, you know, things you can work on, things to kind of minimize. To look at what's coming up in future, like when's a good day to move or to invest, I look at the transits and the progress chart for that. And then if there are things around location and moving, so moving again I can look at via your transit. But the astrocartography is fabulous for looking at actual specific locations and how they're likely to work for you on an astrological level. It's really interesting. I always look at that myself before I move somewhere. So if you're interested in any of that, please do get in touch. Also, if you don't have the time of birth, don't worry. I can use sunrise in, you know, the worst case scenario, but if possible, there's also a process called chart rectification where you send me 10 or more life events and I actually work out the time of birth. And that's much better because the more accurate the chart, the more accurate then obviously the meanings. So if you're interested in having a personal reading with me, please do get in touch via my website. Check out the videos on the full moons and the new moons. And later on, at the end of March, beginning of April, we're also going into eclipse season. So I'll talk about those. Consider becoming a member of my channel, please, if you want to look at the daily tarot reading, which I do on here. And I hope you have a fabulous week. Yeah. So all the best, and I will speak to you soon. Take care.